Who signs first, Connor McDavid or Kirill Kaprizov?
Oh, wow. This Kaprizov thing is interesting.
I like what Billy Guerin said. Calm down. Don't.
Yeah, everybody
panic.
calm down. It's just a negotiation,
Yeah.
But that's a boatload of
But
cabbage.
it sounds more complicated than a calm down. Everything's going to be all right.
I'll say I don't know. I have no idea, no inkling. But I would say McDavid signs a short-term deal, 2 or 3 year deal, worth $19.7 million a year, because the numbers work out. They'll do it right. They won't go 9.7 like Crosby's been so good for Pittsburgh for so long. When 8.7, they're gonna add a 1 in front of that thing to get a 19.7. What do you think of that, Johnny boy? Huh?
Well, I mean, I understand what you do, and I know that Judd Moldaver always loves to put a number, the number of his player into the contract deal. Like Austin Matthews, always, I think his last one ended with a 34. But if the Oilers sign McDavid to 19.7 and Connor wants to win in Edmonton, there ain't no money left to pay for guys to come.
Yep.
And you know what? Managing the salary cap is not Connor McDavid's problem.
No, it's not.
It's Stan Bowman's problem. And that's what Stan signed up for. But, the reality of where the Oilers are now is that in order for them to continue to win and continue to grow, is Connor can't take all the money. He can't. It will hurt them in the end, even in the short term.
Isn't that a kick in the pants, huh?
Yeah.
They make that much money per game over there in Edmonton. My goodness.
I will say, I truly don't understand why that contract hasn't been signed and put to bed. Connor's been there his whole career. He knows the situation. He knows the coach. He knows the president in Jeff Jackson. It should be from the outside, the easiest deal to get done. And I'm a little perplexed at why it hasn't been done and what's holding it up.
Well, maybe some of those questions that John just brought up, the fight back and forth with what number is the right number to make sure that we're going to be competitive for, let's say it's a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal, whatever it might be. And maybe that's it exactly. How can we work this contract? How can we make this work? What players are coming back? What guys are on our radar? Who we losing? Who we gaining? Are we doing something with you still have Evan Bouchard's situation, right? Is that not another deal that hasn't been?
No, he's done.
What's he at?
10. He's at 10 now.
He's at 10. Let's do the math here real quick.
They're top heavy again. If you think of whatever Connor's number is, whatever Leon's at 14, Darnell's at 9, 9 over 9, and now Evan Bouchard's at 10. Sounds like Toronto West.
So is 16 the number that's right in the middle, or does Connor McDavid, or should Connor McDavid be in a 17, 18?
Yes, he should be.
He should be 18, right?
Absolutely.
But to win, what's the right number to win? Shanny?
Well, I mean, it's a Rubik's Cube. What?
16 is the right number to win, to get both. Unless Kaprizov goes above it, and then you're like, well, how can McDavid be below
I don't think you can do that, because if you sign now for next season, you're signing on the basis of a $103 or $104 million cap, but the guy who signs the year after with his new contract is going to sign the basis of a $113 million cap. So I mean that's always going to be the moving target. I mean, this year in Edmonton, Connor's not the highest paid player.
No.
So I know it works for the players to have comparables. I mean, yes, it does. It makes sense to have comparables, but the comparables move. The comparables change on a yearly basis. Darren, you're right. The deal should be done, but I would argue that the deal should be done because Connor should be able to walk in and say, "This is the dollar figure, this is the term," and the Oilers say, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
That's what should happen. But I think the messaging we have received over the last 6 weeks is that it's not about money and it's not about term. I think it's about environment and winning and making sure that this is a place that they can go to the Stanley Cup final for multiple years in a row and win Stanley Cups.
Yeah.
And so, what's that plan? And that's something that we're not privy to in any of the discussions. And I mean, we don't even know how deep those discussions go. And who do they go with? Do they go with, to your point, Darren, do they go with Stan and Jeff? Or do they go higher than that? Do they go with ownership? And I think that becomes the whole discussion of what's going to go on between now and whenever he signs. Do I think he's going to sign? Yeah, I do. I think he's going to sign.
He's got some unfinished business, John.
There's unfinished business, yeah.
And he's not the first great player that has gone to a Stanley Cup final and lost. And then, gone to another Stanley Cup final and lost. He could be 2-0. He could have 2 Stanley Cups right now. Are we having the same discussion? I don't know. But I just.
That's a really interesting point. That's a really interesting point. If the Oilers had won one of these two or both, would this be a much simpler negotiation?
Okay, why does that complicate it?
Because he wants to be in an environment where winning is the objective at all cost. At all cost.
So you think that would have changed if they would have won?
If he has 2 under his belt, then he can walk away easier.
Then he's like, okay, I've done it. Yeah.
You know what? Let me do what Wayne did. Maybe let's get out.
Good point.
Darren, you're gonna the Edmonton market's going to be sure, win the cup and then he leaves. That's not. I think the other way: win the cup and stay loyal,
and stay forever.
Win the cup, and I mean, how many guys in this day and age have done that and stayed with their club? Stevie's one of those guys. Steve Yzerman. Alex Ovechkin, has done it. Yeah. And that's going, and Sid. I mean, I don't think Sid's going anywhere ever. And I think Connor thinks that way too. I really do. And I think, but in order for it to become, Connor does not want to become the greatest player ever to play the game, never to win the Stanley Cup. And that might drive him as much as anything.
Well, look how long it took Ray Bourque to claim it. There's no guarantees.
And that took a trade.
That's right. The great Stan Mikita played with one team, only won one.
Yeah.
1961, all those years, won it early and never was able to win it again. It's not and it's getting harder and harder to win. Harder and harder to win.
Add more teams. It's getting now the success. I maintain the success now is to get to the third round. If you get to a third round, you should be overjoyed. I know people don't look at it that way. Organizations don't look at it that way. But if you win 2 rounds, man, oh man, that's good in a 32 team.
Especially the way that's 2 and 3. I like that Cale Makar, obviously the players discussing things at the media tour, but, maybe talking about getting back to the 1 versus 8 again. And maybe that's cyclical. Maybe 1 versus 8 becomes really difficult in a few years. Who the heck knows? As parity happens and some of the powerful teams lose the players or spend too much money on certain players, and maybe 2 and 3 is not going to be as competitive as it is right now. But that is the best round of hockey, as we all know. Mm-hmm. The 2 and 3 is just incredible. So maybe that's something that gets talked about and discussed further again. I know that Gary has mentioned that he likes where it's at right now, but we'll see where that happens as we go forward in the competitiveness of winning the Stanley Cup and how you can survive that and get through there. I don't know. It's compelling to watch that part of it, and it's compelling though. The least compelling is halfway through the year when of the 2 and 3 and that they're going to end up playing each other. Yeah. It's like, well, here they go again. And here they go again.